Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are y'all doing? Come on, let's get some energy. Woo! My name is Mohammed Kiwamin. I am one of the co-MCs for today, and I'm going to introduce my co-MC.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Serena Purcell with the Office of the Brooklyn Borough President. We're glad that you've been joining us today. Can we get a yeah? Yeah in the house?
Thank you, Serana. So every year, on December 1st, the world commemorates World AIDS Day. People around the world unite to show support for people living with and impacted by HIV, and to remember those who lost their lives to AIDS. World AIDS Day is highlighting the urgent need to end the inequities that drives AIDS and other pandemics around the world. Without bold action against inequities, the world risks missing the targets to end AIDS by 2030, as well as a prolonged COVID-19 pandemic and spiraling social and economic crisis. 40 years since the first AIDS case were reported, HIV still threatens the world. Today, the world is off track from delivering on its shared commitment on ending AIDS by 2030. Not because of lack of knowledge or tools to beat AIDS, but because of structural inequities and obstructs proven solutions to prevent HIV and AIDS treatment. Economic, social, cultural, legal inequities must be ended, a matter of urgent if we are going to end AIDS by 2030. My name is Mohammed Kiwamin. I'm the founder and executive director of the Caribbean Equality Project, and today we are commemorating World AIDS Day 2021 at Brooklyn Borough Hall. Please join me. We have an amazing program with you filled with performances, including representatives from different elected officials, and of course, community leaders. We're gonna start our program with a dance performance by the Bloodline Dance Theater. Please give them a round of applause.
me keep you near to ease away your fear. It would be so nice if only for one night. I won't tell it so. No one has to know. If you want to be totally discreet, I'll be at your side, if only for one night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If only for one night. Your eyes say things I never hear from you, and my knees are shaking to prove, but I'm willing to go through. I must be crying, standing in this bed, while I'm feeling no disgrace for asking. Let me hold you tight, if only for one night. Let me keep you near to ease away your fear. It would be so nice if only for one night. Yeah. If only for one night. I tell you what I need. One night, one night. Oh, I need one night, I'm asking, let me take you home to keep you safe and warm till the early dawn warms up to the sun. It would be so nice if only for one night. If only for one night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If only for one night. If only for one night, one night. If only for one night.
Amazing. Give them another round of applause, everyone. Thank you to all the dancers from Bloodline, our special performers, including Jalissa A. Ross, Sundarita Indian Goddess, and Alicia Kelly. Give them a round of applause. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Deborah McKeever of Canberra to give us a message. Come on, y'all. Y'all can show them some love.
Good afternoon, all. I'm so blessed and pleased to be here before you, representing Canberra as well as the church that I service in the Bronx and the Life Ministries, where we will be servicing anyone that comes through our doors and will travel anywhere to be of service to the community. I've been working in this field for quite some time, since '88. Since my brother passed from AIDS. And it's a blessing, it's a ministry, it's not even a job. It's my ministry to be where I am needed and I'm being called for. And I just want to open up this celebration, this memorial service, and all the love that's out here appropriately, giving honor to the Holy One, however you identify, however you reach the spirit that's inside of you. I just want to just bless this event. Holy Father, however you are being summoned, dear Lord, ask that you make your presence known because you are already here. We carry the names of those that we have lost in our hearts, dear Lord. And we ask, dear Lord, that you continue to be in front of this pandemic, in front of this fight. Let us not forget, dear Lord, that it's not over. Let us continue to raise our voices for equal opportunities for health care and for all those things that we need to be provided for the community that we serve. There's nothing, and there's nothing, no one as big as you. And we ask that you go forth and take charge as you always do, because you are the one we trust, the one we lean upon. Whether we call you Jesus, whether we call you Allah, however we call you, you are always there. We are never alone. And we ask that you go before us and guide our footsteps and touch each and every spirit and body and family represented here. As we go forth to this celebration, let love fall, because that is the greatest command that you have given us, is to love. So we ask that you continue to show up in our lives, continue to guide us as only you can. And all that is holy, I say amen.
Thank you, Reverend Deborah, for that. And now I'd like to bring up one of our community partners. As you guys know, we're all in this together, and it takes a collaborative effort. And community partners take a lot of initiative in making sure they outreach to our communities, that they ensure that they raise awareness, and they played a big part into putting together this day program. So I'd like to introduce Uche Anwa. Let's give it up for Uche Anwa, co-director of the Career Detainee Empowerment Project. Is here? Yeah? Come to the stage? All right, making a grand entrance. Making a grand entrance, here he comes.
Thank you so much for having me here. Hi everyone. Are we all happy to be here? Are we all happy to be here? I want to hear you make some noise if you are. Yes, yes. My name is Uche Anwa, and I'm the co-director with the Queer Detainee Empowerment Project. We are an immigrant-based organization that provides services and support for LGBTQI+, gender non-conforming and HIV-positive immigrants that are currently incarcerated by ICE, or those that have been released or at risk of being detained or being deported. When I was reached out to speak at this event today, I was like, I don't know if I'm the right person to speak on this issue, but the truth is that back home, I'm from Nigeria, originally West Africa, and I've been organizing over a decade based on, but the thing that actually got me interested in the work that I'm doing currently and the work I did back home was when I lost a dear friend and a childhood friend of mine at the age of 15, because he was raped by 4 men who perceived him to be effeminate. And a few months after he was raped, he tested HIV positive. And as a result of that, he committed suicide. So that was a time that I felt like something has happened in my life, and I need to create change. I need to advocate and demand justice for my friend. But not just for my friend, but I also need to demand justice for other people who are like my friend, and also for me to stay safe as a gay man who didn't know anything about prevention of HIV, or who didn't know anything about even my identity at that age. And then that led to me looking for different organizations providing support and services for LGBTQ people in Nigeria, and ended up finding one and started volunteering and eventually working for the community, doing HIV prevention work, testing and treatment, and advocating for the LGBTQ community to not just have access to healthcare, but also to stay safe in a hostile country like Nigeria. The work became very difficult in 2014 when a law was signed by the former president of Nigeria that criminalizes the LGBTQ people and poses a 14 years prison term to anyone who is found guilty of being involved in same-sex activities. This law does not just impose but also criminalizes people who support organizations that support the LGBTQ people and post 10 years prison terms to anybody who support the community. So what that means is that if two people of the same sex cannot live together, if you are being found living together as someone with the same sex, you will go to jail for 14 years. You being a family member, knowing that your sibling or your friend is gay, you're supposed to report the person to the law. If the law finds out that you are aware and refuse to report this person, you are going to jail for 10 years for not reporting the person. So with that law in place, people were taking the laws into their hands, criminalizing and killing LGBTQ people. People have been killed. I've lost several of my friends due to this law. But this law did not just impose, but also it causes the rise of HIV epidemic in Nigeria because the LGBTQ communities were scared to go and access healthcare because when they're being seen going to an LGBTQ affirming organization, they're either being arrested for going into that organization or they are being tagged gay. And they cannot also go to a general hospital to access healthcare because when they go there, they cannot be free to express themselves and talk to the healthcare. I have a friend who went to a general hospital to access HIV care, and when he was tested HIV positive, the doctor asked him to bring his partner or his girlfriend or wife to be tested. And when he told the doctor, I don't have a girlfriend, the doctor is like, okay, how did you get HIV? He said, I have a boyfriend. The doctor went out and called the police to arrest him for saying that he has a boyfriend. So with all of this in place, the LGBTQ community are scared to go and access health care, whether in the general hospital or in an LGBTQ organization because of the fear of the unknown or being arrested or being killed. So a lot of things has been happening, and this has been fueling the HIV epidemic in Nigeria. Not just in Nigeria, but in African countries. And when the LGBTQ communities are coming into this country to seek safety and protection, they are further being criminalized by the immigration system in this country. Within the last 2 years, we have lost 3 transgender women in ICE detention due to HIV, due to medical neglect. These are people that are HIV positive, and the immigration officers knew, but they refused to treat them, and they died in ICE custody. So people are leaving their home country to come here to seek safety, but they're also being further criminalized. So we all have to fight together and demand that people should be able to live their life. People should be allowed to love whomever they want to love, whomever they choose to love. And we also should honor the lives and legacies of those that we have lost due to this epidemic. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. And today's program wouldn't be possible one of our main sponsors, Caribbean Equality Project. Let's give it up for them. And I'd like to bring back to the podium my co-host for today, Mohammed Admin, who is the Executive Director.
Thank you so much. So I really want to uplift and echo a lot of what Uche mentioned earlier. The Caribbean Equality Project is a New York City community-based organization that empowers and represents Black and brown, lesbian and gay, bisexual and transgender, and gender non-conforming queer immigrants from the Caribbean. Through public education, community organizing, civic engagement, storytelling, and cultural and social programming, the organization's work focuses on advocacy for LGBTQ and immigrant rights, gender equity, racial justice, immigration and mental health services, and ending violence in the Caribbean diaspora. Today, we are organizing this World AIDS Day event to remind our community that this pandemic is not over. We are literally living within colliding pandemics. We are trying to survive and navigate the COVID-19 pandemics. We are still dealing with the aftermath of the killing of George Floyd. In every single aspect of our life, we also need to center racial justice, and that also includes fighting HIV and AIDS. We need to uplift this work that's being done throughout New York City and the people that are on the ground every day providing resources, making sure that our communities have access to culturally congruent resources, ending the stigma, access to treatment and care. And today I'm so happy to be here with our partners from CAMBA and working with the Bloodline Dance Theater to make sure that we continue to fight HIV and AIDS in New York City, but most importantly, do it through a cultural lens. This work takes all of us. We have to stand together, just like we are standing together to emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic as a more resilient community. We need to stand together with those that are impacted by HIV as well. Thank you so much. I want to introduce one of our partners for today. Please join me in welcoming Harry Peter Johnson, who's going to be representing New York Communities for Change, the Flatbush chapter. Harry.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Mohammed. My name is Harry Johnson. I represent New York Community for Change and Men of Faith. As someone who works in the field as a social worker, when you talk about policy, we have two pandemics, and under two regimes, the Republican Party was in HIV, and now we have the pandemic COVID, and we're still struggling, and we still no policy in place and nothing going on. Yes, in Brooklyn, HIV is still alive, and the money is inputted. All these politicians are around. We realize we still need money. We still need more funding. We still have a lot of homeless LGBT youths in the city, and also we're seeing a lack of education. It's been cut, and all these cuts and this funding are still propelling the increase of HIV among MSM men. So we're calling on the politician, if your representatives is here, when you go back into the city council and they assemble, please fight for funding for HIV and AIDS, because this is not a day for lip service and you show up and stuff, but we need meaningful and tangible fight. We need money, and we need more funding, and we need more education. Also, housing and education is still funding. Thanks again.
Thank you, Harry, and thank you for your work. And as you said before, you need tangible solutions. You need partners in this fight, right? And one of those collaborators are elected officials. So we play a role. I'm representing the Borough President, Eric Adams, and we have a lot of elected officials who are partners in this fight today, along with our CBOs, our clergy, and our overall community. I'd like to introduce an elected official who has done many works in the arts. She has been a fighter for equality. She has been a fighter for ending inequities, right, in underserved communities. She understands what today means, and she always shows up. She always shows up. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce an ally, right, in the fight. Councilmember Lori Cumbo, representing the 35th District. Give it up for her.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is such an honor to be here with each and every one of you, and to be here on December 1st, out here in the freezing cold, because I know you all are cold right now. That really signifies how committed you are to this cause. because it's so important that we lift up all voices. And I just want to thank all of the wonderful talent that has performed here today. They are awesome. I want to thank all of the speakers who have continued to give us a global education on what so many communities are facing around the world. And for me, as the majority leader of the New York City Council, I had to be here today as a Black woman. It is our responsibility to continue to make sure that our voices are lifted everywhere that we go. And our speaker, Corey Johnson, who is HIV positive, as many of you know, has a saying. And the saying is that we are only as sick as our secrets. And for so many people that are here today, I applaud you for the courage and the tenacity and the strength that it has taken for you to be a global ambassador and voice for the LGBT community, and or making sure that voices of color, or making sure that those that are HIV or have AIDS are thoroughly represented, supported, and are fought for. Because many of you that are here today have been on the front lines before it had the level of support that it does today. And for that, we certainly thank you. As your city council member, this is my last, I guess you could say this is my last term or my last month, but it has been an honor to serve with you, to represent you, to continue to fight for HIV and AIDS funding. I was able to fight, most importantly, for the faith-based HIV initiative, which makes it so that our spaces and our clergy can work hand in hand in our communities. And I want to thank all of you who have lifted your voices during the COVID-19 pandemic, because I just want to say with the COVID-19 pandemic, it has really shown how we are all so vulnerable. When HIV and AIDS first came on the scene almost 40 years ago, people were ostracized, people were killed, people were embarrassed to even talk about it. But now, fast forward 40 years later, the global world wants understanding and compassion, which so many people 40 years ago were asking for. So it's important that we utilize these tragedies to recognize that we need to be more empathetic, that we need to have more compassion, more understanding, and we need to wrap our arms around our communities thoroughly during this time. So I thank you all for organizing today. Where's Lamont right now? Lamont has been fantastic in doing and preparing and organizing all of this. So special shout out to him and to everyone and the honorees who made today possible. Thank you all so much. God bless you. And let's continue to raise awareness all throughout this month. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Thank you for your work and your service. And with that being said, you just asked for Lamont. You have another performance. You want to get ready? So let's go. Give it up for the next performance.
Bobby Campbell of San Francisco and Billy Walker of New York both suffer from a mysterious, newly discovered disease, which affects mostly homosexual men, but has also been found in heterosexual men and women. The condition severely weakens the body's ability to fight disease. Many victims get a rare form of cancer called Kaposi sarcoma. Others get an infection known as pneumocystis pneumonia. Researchers know of 413 people who have contracted the condition in the past year. 1/3 have died and none have been cured.
Death didn't scare me. It was living with this for a long time. That's more frightening than death.
Investigators have examined the habits of homosexuals for clues.
I was in the fast lane at one time in terms of the way that I lived my life, and now I'm not.
The best guess is that some infectious agent is causing it.
Today, researchers here at the National Centers for Disease Control said they had found several cases where people who had been sex partners both had the condition. The scientists say this probably means they are dealing with some new, deadly, sexually transmitted disease.
The investigators see this as a serious public health problem.
From an epidemic point of view, there have been more deaths from Kaposi sarcoma and pneumocystis pneumonia than have occurred with all the cases of toxic shock syndrome and the Philadelphia outbreak of Legionnaire's disease combined.
Researchers are now studying blood and other samples from the victims, trying to learn what is causing the disease. So far, they have had no luck. Robert Bazell, NBC News, Atlanta.
stand up and walk out on me. Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key. Yeah. Oh, baby, all I need is my brother. I say I'm gonna get high. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? No, no. How do I feel at the end of the day? Are you sad 'cause you're on your own? I tell you, don't be sad no more. Gonna get down on my friend. I need someone to love. All I need is someone. That's just what I love, yeah. Someone knows my soul. Baby, said I wanna make you my friend. Oh, I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm gonna keep on trying. Would you believe that I love at first sight? I'm certain it happens all the time. Yeah. What do you see when you turn off the light? I can't tell you, but it sure feels like madness. Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my friends? I promised myself I'd get back. Said I'm gonna try it with them too.
Amazing, amazing. That was so powerful. You know, watching that emotional piece, and a lot of our speakers echoed the need for resources in our community. And as we reflect on World AIDS Day, I want to remind you that we are far from healing and saving the lives impacted by HIV. Our communities need more funding and access to culturally congruent resources to combat this ongoing pandemic. And today and every day, we will continue to call on our elected officials and those in power with access to money to redistribute that money to grassroots organizations that are doing this work every single day to save lives.
And as we call on those elected officials, I'd like to bring up representatives from the office of New York State Assembly member Stephanie Zinman, Petrella Henley, for remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out and supporting on this very cold and frigid day on December 1st. I bring you greetings from the Office of Assembly Member Stephanie L. Zinneman, who proudly represents the 56th Assembly District, which covers the neighborhoods of Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights. Today, we commemorate the 33rd anniversary of World AIDS Day, but our purpose is to end the epidemic. Ending the HIV epidemic, equitable access, everyone's voice. This theme is an invitation for us to do our part. We all have a role in keeping each of us safe from HIV and AIDS. That is why it warms my heart to recognize the great work of Lamont Joseph. Let's give him a round of applause. He's done an awesome job in putting this together today. For using his artistic expression to support and stand in solidarity with those affected by HIV/AIDS and helping to raise awareness about this epidemic. As a government official, I will continue to raise awareness and fight against the stigma associated with living with HIV/AIDS, prioritize funding for effective programs, and uphold policies that create access to treatment and prevent discrimination. As we have enjoyed the performances of the Bloodline Dance Company, let's remember to do our part, get tested, show up in solidarity, and support a young person living with HIV/AIDS. And finally, donate your time, treasure to any of the organizations here present today. I share the same goal as millions around the world, to end the HIV epidemic by 2030. Let's do our part and let's get it done. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
So we had the city, we had the state, now we're going to have the federal. So from Congresswoman Yvette Clarke's office, I'd like to introduce Orlando Ross.
Hello, everybody. I want to give a hand up for Lamont, the Bloodline Theater, and let's give a hand for what this presentation was today. Thank you. So Congresswoman could not be here today. She's actually in DC. I bring greetings from the Congresswoman Yvette Clarke's office, who proudly represents the 9th Congressional District. My name is Orlando Ross. I would like to thank Mayor-elect Eric Adams, the Bloodline Dance Theater, and the Caribbean Equality Project for hosting today's vigil for World AIDS Day. I'm just going to give you a little details and some facts. To date, the U.S. federal government has invested over $100 billion into the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief under Biden's program. The program is called PEPFAR. Working closely with countries and communities, PEPFAR has saved more than 21 million lives. The program also has prevented millions of HIV infections and supported at least 20 countries to achieve epidemic control of HIV, which is an amazing feat. Today, Congresswoman has released this information on her social media, and she asked me to read it for you. As we commemorate the 40th anniversary of the first reported cases of AIDS on World AIDS Day, we must not only reflect on the progress made, but we must work at that remains to boost our response to this global pandemic or health crisis. This year's theme, Ending the HIV Epidemic, Uplifting Equitable Access in Everyone's Voices, accurately recognizes inequities that continue to block access to most of our vulnerable people. Today, I remember all those we lost in AIDS and join in announcing the Build Back Better plan, our American resolve to keep fighting AIDS in our country. Again, we want to thank you for inviting Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. We want to let you know that the Build Back Better plan has been passed from the House, and that is going to be specifically targeting and revitalizing the healthcare system that we have. Again, thank you guys for inviting Congresswoman Yvette Clarke to this event, and we look forward to standing with you in solidarity to making sure that all people and everyone infected with the HIV can be healed and move forward in their lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Orlando. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce my colleague from the Office of the Brooklyn Borough President, Stephen Ringel. As you know, Borough Hall has been a staple. It has been the People's House, and everyone is welcome here. And we're glad that to support this event a second year in a row. And he just wants to come up and give special remarks on behalf of the borough president, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. We also like to then go into the award ceremony and then acknowledge Lamont Joseph for bringing all of us together in a collaborative effort. So Stephen Ringo.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to be able to share remarks briefly, not only as senior advisor to the borough president, but as a proud member of our LGBTQ community. I wanted to give remarks following the beautiful performances that we saw from the Bloodline Dance Theater and from the amazing young people who came here and shared their energy to reflect on a generation like mine and generations to come who didn't have to know the trauma that was the beginning of this epidemic, an epidemic that is now decades long. We didn't have to know the stigma and the pain and the shame and the inability to walk down the street with the partner we love and express ourselves freely and openly, even in a city as embracing as New York. And I wanted to share that I recognize, and all of us as members, as younger members of the LGBTQ community must recognize that it is on each of us to carry the torch, the next leg of the journey, to make sure that until this epidemic of HIV/AIDS is ended, until we ensure equitable and sustaining care that is culturally competent for every one of our sisters and brothers who is living with this disease, that our work is not done. So World AIDS Day is an opportunity for us to recommit, but this is work that is 365 days of the year. So as senior advisor to the borough president, but more importantly, as a member of our community, I recommit myself today to doing all that I can to helping to end this epidemic equitably and justly for all. And with that, I want to invite up Lamont and give him another round of applause. You're getting many rounds of applause today, justly so. As on behalf of Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, we present a number of honors today in recognition of some great human beings who have made today possible and are key figures in this fight.
Can we go with the
So the first person that I would like to call up is Michael Manswell. Is Michael here? And on behalf of Borough President Adams and all Brooklynites, we salute Michael, a renowned choreographer who has created several pieces of exceptional work. We acknowledge him as an avid folklorist and an Orisha devotee in the Yoruba religion. We applaud him for presenting lectures and workshops in dance, music, and as one of Brooklyn's Black Men of Distinction 2000 and Brooklyn's Black Dance Kings in 2010. Commend him for serving as an adjunct faculty member at Lehman College and a dance instructor at Something Positive. With his work with the Brooklyn Arts Council and the Caribbean Cultural Center. for your ongoing commitment to the advancement and empowerment of individuals in the LGBTQ community. We applaud you for being honored here today and for your inspired visions and commitment in giving your time and expertise to improving the quality of life for our community and our residents, particularly our at-risk youth, young adults, seniors, and families. Therefore, Eric L. Adams, President of the Borough of Brooklyn, does hereby confer this citation ever so justly on Michael Manswell.
Can I say one thing? Thank you. Picture. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, all of you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Did they take the picture? I hope they did.
Come.
Come on. Picture time. I need as much accolades as possible.
As much body he didn't
Yes.
get.
Got it? Yeah, enough.
Great.
Thank you.
Michael, before you, Michael, before you speak, I have a special message for you.
Okay.
For many years, I have been witness not to only your wonderful talent as a dancer and singer, but moved by your commitment and ability to inspire and uplift the soul of our people. You're an amazing example of importance and power of legacy. Thank you for being an artistic light in your community and continue to service to bring forth the essence of the Caribbean people through your work as a performer, teacher, artist, artistic director, and choreographer. You're truly a cultural gift from the African diaspora to us all. Cheryl Bayan Ibaye and our ancestors are smiling upon you, my brother. You are truly something positive and so much more. Baba Abdel Salam from Dance Africa.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is like amazing. And when you do work, it's often not to get anything like this. It's just to do the work. And so I exhort everyone in their own area of expertise to just do the work. We have survived some of the worst pandemics in the world, and we are going to continue to survive. There was a time when we didn't know where HIV was coming from, and we just ran in fear. Now we can embrace each other, and we can say, there is a new horizon. So thank you very much on this December 1st, cold December 1st. I am happy to be alive, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And we're not just surviving, we're thriving. So, I want to next call up Latravius Collins. Woo! And whereas on behalf of all Brooklynites and Borough President Adams, we salute Latravius Collins, Executive Director of the Brooklyn Ghost Project, or shall we say more affectionately known as Mother Latravius. Mother Latravius, a published poet, songwriter, playwright, and staunch advocate for Black trans lives. We applaud her for empowering, uplifting, and redeveloping ideas of leadership and opportunity for our Black trans community while instilling new hopes, aspirations, goals, and desires. Commend her for being compassionate and empowering strength to combat on behalf of Black trans lives and their advocacy. Recognize you for your ongoing commitment to the advancement and empowerment of individuals of our community, particularly being an advocate for our at-risk youth, young adults, seniors, and families, and for all you have done to touch and improve the lives of one Brooklyn. So, Eric L. Adams, President of the baddest borough of Brooklyn, does hereby confer the citation on Mother Latravius.
Gia,
come on.
You wore this dress for me, baby. Come on. want pictures with Lori too. Oh, Michael. Oh God.
We're making it through.
Yes. Okay. Good.
There you go.
Oh. Oh, show the award.
Show your award. Show your award.
Oh,
Show the
Lord.
award.
Yeah. They want to see the awards.
Everyone's got to have their moment.
That's my face.
We don't want this to go. Okay, there you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Yay.
You got it? Okay. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, is that better? I just want to quickly thank everyone for being here today, and thank you for this honor, and thank you for seeing me. While I'm on the mic, I want to remind you that Black trans women are in the fight in a war against their lives. We are being murdered every day. We are at more than 47 Black trans women have been murdered this year, and those murders are unsolved. Please do not forget about us. Please remember that we need you. Thank you so much for seeing Ghost Project, for seeing me and the work that we do. My partner here wore this beautiful dress for you all in the cold, so please applaud for her.
Woo!
And thank you all. Have a good evening. That's it. Thank you.
So, the next honoree is a group honoree, and want to have a representative of the Brooklyn YAS Coalition, YAS, Youth Against Substance Misuse.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Caribbean Equality Project. Mohammed, can you come up for a second?
Yeah, Mohammed, if you can come up too.
And Bloodline is here.
So, we're gonna sort of do a joint recognition right now of all three of our lead organizations here. Brooklyn Youth Against Substance Misuse Coalition, popularly known as Brooklyn YAS. Our friends at Caribbean Equality Project and Bloodline Dance Theater. And we join with all of these amazing organizations today for this World AIDS Day Remembrance and Vigil, for the beautiful performances we've seen and the powerful messages, the ongoing commitment to the advancement and empowerment of individuals of our LGBTQ+ community, for the inspired visions and commitment in giving your time and expertise to improve the quality of life for our community and our people, for providing exemplary services and resources, and please learn more about them and contribute to them, and for being advocates for our at-risk youth, young adults, seniors, and families, and for all you have done to move our communities forward as one Brooklyn. So Borough President Adams, I'm honored on his behalf to present these honors to Brooklyn YAS, of which we are proud to be a co-member of that coalition, to the amazing Lamont always has to make sure I'm on my business. To the amazing folks at the Caribbean Equality Project, Mohammed, and of course to the amazing and powerful artists of Bloodline Dance Theater. So again, congratulations to all and thank you.
And we're going to continue on with the show. Just
go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Keep going. What side are you on? Right or left? No, this is the end. Let's go.
Thank you. One moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Alicia Kelly. Jalissa A. Ross. Thank you. Steven. Pranay. Zara. Brian. My daughter, Natalie Gregor. My lover, brother, sister, father, uncle, cousin, I owe him money, Justin Hunt. My beautiful host, Miss Savannah Purcell. My brother and sister, my Momo, Muhammad Q. Amin from the Caribbean Equality Project. My beautiful performer, Cinderee, the Indian goddess. My brother, who I owe so many wonderful thank yous to, Jason Kaisoka Edwards. And my stilt baby, Bishmi Sanchez, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to all the wonderful presenters, performers, and now I'd like to introduce you to the wonderful and talented Batala. Everybody, come on.